Well, welcome back. This is going to be a quick little video today to answer a question I get asked quite a bit. And that question is, how can we secure our environment, but also allow our employees to be able to do the things that they want to do? You know, you trust your employees. You have a policy handbook of what's allowed and what's not allowed on your network and on your systems. So you want to let your employees go to Facebook, different social media sites, Twitter, and so on. You want them to be able to go to websites if they're into cooking or they want to do some online shopping, whatever. You want to let them to do some personal stuff on corporate computers, maybe at break or just throughout the day, as long as they're productive and they're finishing the tasks that you've given them. That's not really a good question. The question, when we get asked it, we're IT security people, right? We do IT for all of our customers. We want to secure the environment. And the truth of the matter is, if you're allowing your employees to do personal things on corporate resources, you're just creating insecurity for your environment. It's not that we say you should be walking around like a jackbooted thug, laying down the law on your employees that no fun, you can't do anything that you enjoy. It's really you have to change the way you look at things. Let your employees maybe do those things on their personal phone if you really want to give them that right, or their iPad or something, but don't let them use work resources to accomplish those tasks. So I have a little quick representation of what this looks like. So let's say that this blue film is your work. This is the work that your employees need to be able to do, and this red film is the personal stuff they want to do. So you have to decide how much you want that to mix and how much liability you're willing to accept. So as you move these together, you have to say, whoa, 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 whenever we get to that point that you don't want so much personal stuff interfering with their work life, and you don't want insecurity. Well, the problem is, everything between these two films is insecurity, no matter where you slice it. I mean, the only way to keep security is they can't cross at all. They can butt up against each other, and so that would be like your employee using their personal iPad or their phone on a guest network that's isolated from your production network, but it's certainly not them using your work resources where they do accounting, bookkeeping, inventory, you name it, any work function that you need to be productive. It's definitely not them using those resources to do personal things on networks and systems that are known to contribute to viral activity and issues within your environment. Certainly don't let them use or open their personal email, Yahoo, Gmail. Those aren't filtered at all, or very little at all. And so they're going to open up attachments and do things they shouldn't. Lastly, when you let your employees do personal things on their work computer, they tend to do things like register on a website. And what they're going to do is they're going to register on that website and they're going to use their work email and their work password, because people don't remember passwords, so they're going to use the same one. So they go to register on some website. I don't know what your employees do. Let's assume they go to Grindr, because we want to assume the worst in everyone. But they go to a website that has been compromised, and they register. They're going to use the same password they use on their computer because they're on it. It's the one they're thinking of right then, and they're going to register on that website. So now when those email addresses and passwords end up on the dark web, it's very easy for them to go, oh, work email has your work domain. They can easily track that back to the corporation, and then they can immediately use that password to gain access to the system, specifically if the system has external access, terminal servers, Citrix, VMware View, any kind of system that lets your employees access a centralized server from outside the network. And if they can't do that, well, they probably are going to be able to get into their Office 365 account unless you're using multi-factor authentication, which we've spoken of many times. If you're not using multi-factor authentication, you're really just waiting to be compromised, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So just wanted to say that real quick. So if you have employees personal and work, so your work and personal, where do these allowed to cross? Well, any place they cross is going to create insecurity for both. Really don't care if we create insecurity for their personal. That's not really the issue, but you're definitely going to create insecurity for your work environment. We say don't let them cross at all. Personal is you can allow it, but do it in a way that's isolated and separate from your production network. Like I said, you could even go and buy $100 cheapest Chromebooks or $100 Android tablets, hand them out to your employees, put them on charging stations throughout the company. You want them to do personal stuff on company time, that is perfectly fine. Just make sure that the devices they're using are not on the same network or anywhere near your production environment, and they're not doing anything on your work computers or anything like that. So isolate it. It's still good practice to filter and do some content filtering and things on that guest network, which we do for our clients. But try to keep those separate. Personal and work on work computers, it's a no-go these days. There's too much risk. You keep seeing it in the news. Companies being compromised left and right. It's not typically happening because someone just brute forced their way in. No, someone's opening the door, and they're opening the door through personal access almost always. So keep them separate. Just wanted to run through that with you. Have a great rest of your week.